All right. Hello and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever today may find you. Paul Trani here, just saying hello. Let me know if I'm coming in loud and clear. Always appreciate a little confirmation. I see you out there, Clarissa and Frank, my buddies here. Oliver, Steve, what's up, man? Carol, I'm so glad you guys are here. Yeah, this is going to be fun. We're basically talking about AI, machine learning. Oh, this is like the hot topics, Chat GPT, MidJourney, DALL-E, things like that. So, like, how would you use that in Photoshop, and what can you do with it? And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. The short of it is like, yeah, we've been using little AI magic in Photoshop for years, right? It sort of is the backbone of everything that is happening. So thank you, Clarissa, for that confirmation. Appreciate it. Yeah, let's get this party started, shall we? Here's my other view. There we are. Hi there. But let's switch to my desktop. Oh yeah. All right. Happy Friday to everyone. Good to have you here. And yeah, this is going to be fun. I have a number of images that I want to work through, and we'll work on. We can just make this a conversation. That's the short of it. It's like I want to be part of this conversation that everybody's having around AI, generative artwork, things like that. Big thing is like I think we all feel the need to create and contribute to society and leave our mark, and hopefully leave the world in a better place. That's what I think we try to do as humans. So. And we do it with, I do it with, like, say, visual design, But let's kind of start out with the basics, if you don't mind. And we'll get this part started. So, yeah, I'd love to tell you my ideas on this, Chris. So, I first was going to start out and just kind of show you some of the AI sort of generative magic, the neural filters, just real fast. What you can do in Photoshop today. And I think people don't really realize how powerful this stuff is. So in this case, for this leopard, I want to make it as part of this scene. He's just hanging out there, right? What we can do is we can go to neural filters in Photoshop. And again, this is sort of what we call Adobe Sensei, which is our AI and machine learning magic. Because what do I want to do? I want to harmonize it with the background. So that's just like a click away. Turn that on. Sorry, I scrolled off. Let's get back up there. There we go. We select the layer, and this is where you pick that forest layer because it's a night scene, but it's a daytime scene for that particular leopard. So we can see what it's done. We can see the before and then the after. It's kind of subtle, so let's crank up the saturation, for instance. Let's crank up that saturation. We're going to do some more things. We're going to get into some MidJourney and Chat GPT as well, by the way. ML stands for machine learning. Sorry if that's not clear in I don't know if it's part of the description. But we crank that up, and again, you can just see the sort of the strength that this is, and really where that gold is coming from is from that part, that highlight. So it's saying, hey, let's take this brightest part and let's map it to that leopard, right? So if we don't think it's, basically we can tweak the settings from there. As you can see, sort of take down the brightness, maybe get rid of some of the yellow or increase the blues more like it to kind of get this dialed in. And already it looks like much better as I start to tweak this. Let's take it all the way down. So you can see it is actually affecting it. I like it darker, seems to work better. Let's exaggerate the blues, right? So isn't that nice? So we have our before and then their after, and it's one click away. Let's output this as a smart filter, and we're done, right? So that's some pretty awesome magic. Can I show you something else? I got to dig up an image, and I'm sorry if I do not remember where the heck it is. But you can take any old pics that you might have. So let's take a look at these. Here's a black and white picture of my dad. So we could take this just randomly. Ooh, we have this one. Ooh, look at this dashing young man. Take take a black and white photo. You could take one that's really beat up as well. Like this one. Oh, even better, right? Take those old photos. This one has some tears in it. I just grabbed this off my hard drive. Like, they are, I haven't tried the neural filters with this yet, but let's do it. Let's go to neural filters. It's an action photo. It recognizes that face, so that's cool. But what I want to do is I want to go in and do some photo restoration in beta right down here. So we'll turn that on. Oh, so sorry. I keep on scrolling away. It's processing. And let's do increase this. So something, it might not look like it does anything. Increase the scratch reduction off to the side. So that might be the main slider that you work with to get rid of these scratches, if you happen to have scratches. Oh, Frank, you were so kind. So look at that. Look at that magic. How you like them apples? The before and then the after, a click away. Like, how cool is that? If you increase the scratch reduction too much, it'll start to maybe smooth out the photo, so you do have to be careful with that. Okay? And this is all in Photoshop, so I would easily jump in and say remove this spot. Right, we can output this as a new smart filter. Let's just do just a new layer real fast. But then I can jump in and play with this. Let's actually colorize this photo now as well. And there's actually some discoloration going on here already. I could turn this all to black and white, but actually what I want to do is I want to go back into neural filters. Let's just duplicate this layer really fast. Neural filters, and we'll colorize this really quick. Oh, cool, Oh, cool, Rick Adams. Low numbers for scratch is better. Nice. Yeah, it could blur it out if you crank it up too much. But we want to jump in, and from here, we'll do a colorize. Again, I haven't done this with this photo yet. Just clicking this magic button, you can see it adds those. It tries to colorize this. What I like doing right in here, by the way, in fact, let's take a look. You have these different retro settings. Retro, let's do retro green. You know, that tweaks it a little bit, but you have certain settings in here, high contrast, low contrast. I'm just going to go with none, but essentially what happens when you're picking these, it's like adjusting the settings. I'm going to go with none. This is what I like right down here. Ooh, let's crank up artificial reduction. I'm actually not sure what this does. Not crazy about it. But what I would do is I would output this as a new color layer. So it's going to output this layer, and this gives me control over it. So we'll click OK. And then here's this new color layer right here. So this is so nice. Hopefully this makes sense. WA Graphics, you're so kind. Rodrigo, hello, welcome. So it gives you this layer. This happens to be a color layer, or a layer with the with it set to color blend mode, right? So this is nice because as I change this to say normal, oh, I could see it. This might be where I sample my color. So I'll bounce between those two. Because I'm looking at this. It's doing its best guess. It knows what's red, green, blue, yellow, all those things. I'm going to actually, I'm just going to use this to kind of sample the color. And what I want is I want a color from his shoulder right here. That's the color that I want to use for his whole jersey. So I can switch this back to normal. Sample right from his shoulder. Switch to the brush. And come in. And we could always duplicate that layer because, again, if we're working on this, we would just want to be careful. But we could start painting with that color in these spots. And I'm going to do this really fast, by the way. I'd probably actually use my pen, but just kind of come in and paint like so. Even this is a little bright. I could probably tone that down. But the short of it is you're just able to paint with whatever color you get. So right in here, this got really, this red kind of needs to go away, right? So I can clean that up. Let's drop down the flow. and paint like so. And what you can do is you could switch to, say, the color mode. So now I'm in this color mode and I'm painting with that blue. Not the blue that's so intense, like let's get rid of that, but that's what I'm doing. I'm getting rid of that bright blue and painting with it accordingly. So that's what I want to do, just kind of clean this up. Same thing for the grass, right? We just have that situation where the grass is, could be a little more green kind of between his arms. So we'll switch that. Sample the color. I'm going to switch back to color blend mode. B for brush, and now I'm painting right in there, and we can clean that up. So hopefully that makes sense. Look at that. Oh, yeah. So it tried to do its best right in here. And you get the idea. Yes, my friends? Something kind of like that, even right down here. Oh, yeah. Let's paint some more. Maybe they make that a little bit more green. And then we have an issue right down here. So let me know if you guys have questions. In photo restoration, I use the noise reduction slider only until the dedicated noise reduction filter is available. All right, cool. Rick, it sounds like you do a lot of photo restoration, which is good to hear. Jump in here, sample that color, switch back. There are shortcut keys for the blend modes. I don't know all of them, and I feel like I should. Okay, let's get back in here. Painting this red. You get the idea, hopefully. Cool, just really fast, we're done, right? Colorized. It's doing pretty well. We can even take down that opacity if we think it's a little bit strong, and I think this is looking pretty darn good. I'll go ahead and crop this and call it a day. By the way, let's crop this, and let's take a look at this high fashion right down here real fast. Whoop, a little too zoomed in. Look at these shoes. Those don't look like they have any padding whatsoever. Like, compared to shoes we have today, these do not look comfortable. So anyway, super cool. That's what we've done. We went from, just to take us back a little bit, the original, the photo restoration, and then the colorize. So let's, the start, and then the, again, the final. Where we started and kind of where we ended up. So yeah, works well. Let's save our file. Hopefully everybody's doing well today. Let's talk more about, so again, we're talking about Adobe Sensei doing this magic, right, within Photoshop. So you'll find this, the thing is, we don't call it out. Like if you guys weren't watching, you maybe wouldn't know that, a lot of machine learning had to happen to recognize that that is grass, that that's a person, it recognizes their face, and will do those adjustments accordingly. So like kind of just keep that in mind as you're working on this. You can do this for anything. It should actually recognize faces. I just kind of want to see what's going to happen with an old black and white. I don't think you could really stack filters. Let's see if we do. We could use that. We could add colorize. We're stacking. We're going to turn both these on. Wait for it. Right, boom. Look at how good that looks. We're done. Let's call it a day. Boom. How nice was that? And what a good looking guy. Look at that handsome young man. Let's take this handsome young man and jump in here and do one more thing. Yeah, you could. Good call, WA Graphics. You can just, like visible the color layer, I think is what you're trying to say there. But let's go into Smart Portrait. Maybe you want to give them a little bit more of a smile, right? We'll increase sort of the happiness. Oh, if happiness was only a slider, huh? Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, how does it pick the color for the shirt and the stripes on the pants? I don't know. And I don't know the original colors either, to be honest with you. So if I had, probably what I would do, a good test would be to take a color photo, turn it black and white, so you know what colors are what, and then recolorize it to see what happens. So check this out. This is kind of crazy, but basically a smile has been hallucinated here or generated thanks to machine learning. It's like, hey, we know what teeth look like. Let's go ahead and give them a creepy, weird smile, which I'm not crazy about. So let's take that back down to 0. You can always type that in. And let's increase the facial age just to see what happens. It might do something weird with his hat, but yeah, made him look a little bit older, right? With some wrinkles. And it made him look kind of chubby right there. What's that all about? How rude. Eye direction. You guys get the idea. Sort of hallucinating or generating teeth is what I was going for. You can get some pretty bizarre combinations if you start to really crank these up to their extremes. So I have all 3 of these at their extremes. And hopefully we'll see what happens. Kind of want to change the eye direction too. So you guys get that. You guys kind of understand what's happening. I've just moved the eyes. Do you see that? Let's zoom in on that. Shifted to, well, my left. Let's go to the right. And it kind of shifts them all just a little bit overall. Okay, all this processing is happening on the device, okay? So let's go back to Photoshop. We'll go into Preferences. We will go into, actually, I don't even know where it is. You know, and it's okay because the preferences gets overwhelming. Check this out. Steve, you guys probably might know this, but I could just search for device. Oh, there it is, because I know there's processing on your device. Selecting that. This is more for, I guess, selecting subjects. You know, because again, even our selection tools understand what items are, what a face is, like just all these shapes. So you could actually change this to cloud, and it will process like in the cloud. It might take a little bit longer. And you have the same thing for selections processing. So it's like more accurate or quick. Pick one, you know. But that's under image processing. And that's when I say selections, that's what I'm referring to, is jumping in and using the object selection tool, for instance. And I actually do not, yeah, I do have overlays turned on. Right up here. So again, processing on the device is right there. And again, this is also a little AI magic. Let's jump in and just like maybe select the head and let's see what happens. And then let's make something cool, shall we? So yeah, did a pretty good job. Select, done. This is what I like to do. If you drag the layer to the new layer icon, it will duplicate it, but it doesn't cut out your selection. So I drag that to the new layer icon and then I click layer mask. And there we are. So anyways, cool. Yeah, I just realized that Scoot Borelski, you're killing me, Scoot Borelski. I think I know who that is too. Yes, and I did just realize that. I was thinking neural filters maybe had the opportunity. I'm glad it doesn't have the opportunity to select on your device, because what that means is there would be a bunch of data on your laptop that's being accessed. That's too much information, too much. We know people have concerns when they're launching Photoshop and when they're running processes. So it just adds to both of those. I could imagine. So anyways, cool. Got that done. It's looking great. Scoot Borelski. Oh, there's my, there's my images. I was looking all over for those. So yeah, do these all day long. Scanned items, codecs at 1, pix 1. There we go. So here's another one that I worked on that gave a lot of detail. Looks like that's only the JPEG, but nonetheless. Is that? Maybe I'm wrong. But that's the final I actually did after some colorization. So yeah, very Jermaine Clement, as somebody said online. So I'm into it. Okay, let's kind of close those. We get the idea. Let's take things to the next level, because I've been showing you what we can do, kind of the intelligent work that's going on behind the scenes in Photoshop, which I absolutely love. Even when it comes to selection or select subject. In this case, again, just use that AI. Well, technically, I don't know 100% if remove background is an AI capability, just FYI. I think it is, but honestly, I do not remember. Either way, so select subject might be a little Adobe Sensei magic. Either way, it's magic to me. So if I just want to come in here for this layer and just remove background, I can click right there. You can imagine what it does. Boom, does its magic. Throw a new background back there, and this is the image we'll work with. We'll add maybe I mean, you guys know me. Are you guys sick of all this stuff? This is huge. I'm going to talk more about like stable diffusion and MidJourney and all that stuff, but let me get, again, just a nice color going on here. Even if we went a little bit like something like that. Technically, I would pick probably just a cooler color. Something like this would work. And we will flip it. That's what I would go with. But you could see right in here, if I double click. So this is the mask that it created. Look at how it snagged all that hair. That's amazing. I just love how it snagged it all. Double click on that layer mask, and we can go into editing mode for this layer mask. So select and mask. What is going on here, folks? Let's bring it back. There we are. So right in here, this is the selection it made. What do we want to do? Well, I would definitely want to decontaminate colors. So that's right down here. Decontaminate colors. So decontaminate all the colors around the edge. So click right there, and it knocks it down. So it just knocks down that color. We could even cheat the edge in if we wanted to. We could shift edge. So that's what's happening there. Shifting the edge in if we want to, and use our refine edge tool if we wanted to paint on some of this hair. To really get in there. Let's get in there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's some freaking magic. Sorry for my cussing. Jeez, my language today. So right here, by the way, this is where it does. It takes some human interaction. Let's undo that. Wait for it. I got a lot going on. So some parts right here are just highlights. So it's like I actually removed some of the highlights and not just the color around the edge. So yes, that's what I mean when I say like sort of human interaction. My machine is like, something's being difficult here. So I could bring that back. Refine edge. So short of it is like I just want to do this on the edge and not be so willy-nilly with this tool. But you get the idea. Zoop. Wait for it, wait for it. Bingo. Yeah, so let's just go ahead and click OK. There we are. It's all cut out. It's looking great. And we can start to play with this some more. Okay, so what's the stability plugin if you have that I have? So yeah, let's talk about this. So let's talk about, we can talk about ideas to things that we want. We need images. So this is the progress, sort of the progression of a design. It's like you find a photo, you start adding some photos to it. You're like, okay, this is kind of cool. This woman with this butterfly, maybe it's on her nose, flip horizontal. Maybe you just need ideas, right? So we'll talk about that. Like, the stability plugin is by Christian Cantrell, who has worked at Adobe for easily a decade. Like, I remember him from the Flash days. He's just an amazing technologist, writer, prototyper. He does it all. He's super cool. But I'm just going to go ahead and paste this as Christian Cantrell. I'm going to paste this into chat just so you guys have it. Because basically he made this plugin that you can install from Adobe Exchange or download this CCX file directly. That's easy enough to do. Click right there. It'll download this CCX file. You double click it, and then it's going to go ahead and open up right in Photoshop. So here it is, this stability plugin that uses Dream Studio, and then so yeah, just paste that in. It's basically an easy way to access the photos and sort of connects with Stable Diffusion. But this is what it does. So in Photoshop, I can actually type up something like decorative lace made of bones, realistic. That's what I tried earlier. Let's do something different though. We'll do woman's face. Yeah, woman's face with butterflies. Realistic, dramatic. Let's throw some keywords in there. And let's go ahead and click Dream right down there. And it'll start to generate those images. So this is what AI is, sort of generative AI. You give it a prompt, it's going to return images. As that's doing it, I'm going to actually jump out as well. We're going to have two processes running at the same time. Right over here. MidJourney is another one. So we have MidJourney allowing you to do the same thing, writing a prompt. Beautiful woman, serious. In butterflies. Realistic. Dramatic. And then you can throw in a bunch of keywords in there as well. You know, low light, highly detailed. Yeah, that's good. We'll just run it. Oh, shoot. I forgot to do one more thing. I always do that, by the way. Do the / imagine. So this is what MidJourney will do. Now we could talk about MidJourney and all that, because the issue is I have no idea where these images came from, right? I don't know if this is stolen from somebody else's work. I just don't know. I don't know where these photos came from. That's kind of the issue with generative AI currently. It's like I don't have a lot of high confidence in, unless they reveal their sources. Then I'm like, what data did you use? Where did you scrape that data to get that particular design? But you can start to see it come in, sort of all these butterflies. And what I'm using this for is just like a way to, say, brainstorm, right? So we have that. We'll click back over, and here is Stable Diffusions, the stability plugin and Stable Diffusions version right in here. Very uncanny valley freaky. So the nice thing from here, I can go ahead and add this as a layer. Let's go with this one. Boom. Add it as a layer, add it as a layer, add it as a layer. And that's the stability plugin using Stable Diffusion. So Ooh, it looks like Sasha's work. Can we talk about that, Marcia? Because basically I've already shown you everything, well, a lot of what Adobe can do in Photoshop with machine learning and all that, right? It's happening behind the scenes and you don't really realize it. Well, technically, Frank, you can use it for commercial work, as I found out. You actually can use it for, can you get sued? Well, sure, you can get sued for anything, quite frankly. But trust me, I didn't think that was the case. And as it stands right now, you can. But look at this. So here this is. You know, pretty cool, a little bizarre. I love this low light idea, but that's what I could think about. Like, I could use other sort of AI machine learning tools like Chat GPT. This is the prompt I ran earlier. You know, let's just say, give me some ideas for a dramatic portrait of a person with, I don't know, nature. So we could actually send that to ChatGPT just to get some ideas rolling. But this is what ChatGPT gave me. And I'm just showing you as different outlets. Because what do I do today? I'll go to Pinterest and I'll like try to get inspired out here. Trying to get inspired. You could already see that all my prompts are about skulls and stuff. But it's like super cool. I'm getting inspired out here by all this awesome work. The same way I'm getting inspired by what I've entered in here. So that's personally how I'm using it. You know, using it for inspiration. You know, even again, Chat GPT. Person standing in front of a dark, stormy sky with lightning in the background. It's all, honestly, it's all pretty basic stuff. It's like, yeah, this is not, was I not good with my question? You know, give me a really cool idea for a Photoshop design using a person. I always like the human element. So again, just roll with it and see what happens. Oh, guess what? Oh, so groundbreaking. A double exposure effect. So anyways, like, yeah, that's stuff that I could see out on Pinterest. So is Chat GPT serving me that well in this case? Not so much. But I'm loving just everything I see here. Like, look, I made a heart like this the other day. We could do something with eyes. I love the idea. And even as I look at this stuff, I'm thinking, what if these butterflies, rather than just being standard butterflies, what if we put some weird stuff on them? I hate to freaking, all my stuff starts to look the same. But like maybe the wings are made of eyeballs, right? Or in my case, like skulls and stuff like that. So again, using it to brainstorm. And then what do? I'll jump out there and try to find assets to use in Photoshop. Assets that I know where they came from. So right in here. Even go into Adobe Stock, I can select, say, free images. Let's use photos specifically of animals if I want to use that. And here is what we have access to. I could download that free image. So we'll go in here. We'll do let's do butterflies. And here's all our butterflies. Look at all this. Look at this. This is so cool. It's like, okay, now I have some ideas. Oh, now I can grab my assets. I'm comfortable in knowing where it came from because I'm using this image in case anybody asks. I don't want to get sued. Will you represent us in court? I will not, but I will have ChatGPT represent you in court. Nothing ever happened with that court case, by the way, which is wild. So this is really cool. I'll download a couple of these. I'm just like totally into them. There they are. Oh, awesome. What do we do here? You know, hey, check this out. We'll take this a step further. it's analyzing this. Actually, let's right click. We are going to what are we going to do, folks? Mask all objects. Oh, because what I'm looking at this, Frank and everyone, I'm like, oh, how, like, I need to cut all this out. There's a couple different ways to do this, but I just want to show you this because it's also new and can be pretty handy. Mask all objects. So rather than me going in here and using my lasso tool and trying to like select this one, which is totally fine. You could do it this way if you just want this one. Copy, paste. There's my one. It's like we want to do this lots of times. Right click, mask all objects. Click OK. It'll go through, use that same sort of select subject technology and create all these masks that we then have to do a couple extra steps to get it where we want. Awesome, Rodrigo. Thank you so much for joining me. Stina, thank you so much. So it's generating that. I now have like a great idea just by kind of honestly bouncing around the internet from Pinterest to Sasha Vinogradova because I love her work. So I just go to my favorite people like, I'm like, ooh, what's Luke Choice making these days, you know, or Magda Lopez, right? And I think these guys are also a pretty good example of using this technology. Instagram. Velvet Spectrum. So again, that's Luke Choice. We'll go to Magda Lopez. Oh, that's not how you spell it. It's this one. Because Magdal has been using little AI work in here for his stuff as well. Kind of generating some, and you could see kind of maybe his work has changed. I love this one. Look at how cool that is. And I don't mean to put words in his mouth, but one of these talks about his process for using AI as kind of like a brainstorming tool. So that's the short of it. All right, so let's go ahead and see where this ended up, because I can see in the background, oh, look, it created all these crazy layer masks. Right, I think it's just a step away because I really wanted it to duplicate all of those. You know, you have to go through this whole extra step. So you have all these masks, layer masks with a layer folder, and you actually have to duplicate this layer and put it in there. And this is the process that's just kind of annoying. All right, so there that is. Great. Also with masks, by the way, you could take these, Option key drag to duplicate it, or just drag it on down. But this is ultimately what I want. But let's take this. We're working away. In fact, I'm going to be a rebel. I'm just going to click Apply Layer Mask because I'm a rebel like that. And we're going to put it in our design. All right. So here this is. And I love the idea of adding like eyeballs or something to this butterfly and then having these butterflies land on this person. I think that would be cool. Where are the antennas? I don't know. It's a good question. I would appreciate if you would just ignore that fact. I'm sorry. I use the quick selection tool like all the time. Why? Because I don't got that kind of time. I want it to be quick. Just jump in there. Let's clean that up. Quick selection, I don't know, lazy selection. All that good stuff. We'll jump in, we'll add some fun. You know, I don't know, it just needs something fun and interesting right in here. And I think that would be cool to add maybe some eyeballs or some skulls or something like that. So let's do that. In our libraries panel, yeah, we have all of our awesome butterflies. Let's do search for a skull. I know I'm a one-trick pony, aren't I? But let's take this. Let's grab this skull. And this is where it's going to take some work. Guess what I could do here, by the way? We could try this, because we have this butterfly, bee fly. We'll call it bee fly. We have our skull. What do I want to do? I want to match this skull to, like, steal the colors from this butterfly and apply it to the skull. Well, we can use what we already know by going into neural filters and using harmonization. Sculler fly. Oh, that sounds like a sort of a heavy metal band name, and I'm into it. So we use harmonization, turn that on, select our layer, bee fly, click, it'll go through, and you know, does a pretty good job of at least matching the colors. Is that quite what I want? No. We realize that didn't work. We'll hit cancel. We will go in and use, the next thing I would try is I'd try a gradient map, and just map that gradient map to that skull, and let's map the darks to right in here, that dark color, and the lights to that color. So this looks much better. This is more like what I want. Click OK. Could still use some grain. I'll throw some grain on it. All that stuff. Kind of needs that same grain. I would probably get really exact with this. I would, you ready for this? Again, this is all part of the process. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this. Stealing some of this dark. Actually, let's do this. Little content aware feel. I just want like a dark, just this dark pattern is all I'm going for. So I'm using content aware fill. So all I want is this dark texture. One more time, wait for it. I could also use the patch tool. So the patch tool allowed me to pick this area, map it to that spot. But this is what I want, like this chunk. In fact, I'll select it maybe a little bit more loosely. Copy, paste. Da-da, da-da, da, sha. Right there. Clip it. Boom. I said clip it. Clip it. Change this blend mode. But I'm just adding that texture in there is all I'm going for. There we go. Something like pin light might work. Or difference. But anyways, okay, so we have that done. Kind of. I'm not even sure if that works. I don't think that works too well. Wait for it. This is all part of the process. Let's throw some noise in there. Layer mask, blend mode, B, paint, sorry, I'm not looking at, I don't want to watch YouTube, but this is so cool. Oh, you're too kind. So yeah, do something like that, right? We're going to sneak a bunch of scary little things in here. And we need to do this just with one side of the wing, take it, flip it, distort it, start putting it everywhere. Once we have one created, even one part of it created, it should go pretty fast. So that being said, let's get to work, Paul. This is Photoshop and Adobe Live. We are live every week, by the way. And I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. We got Terry White up next. This is like right around the corner. And I don't know what he's going to be doing. I could probably find out, but it's basically right below me. If you're joining me elsewhere, by the way, I'm looking at the behance.net/live. 10 things you didn't know were in Lightroom. It's into it. 10 things you didn't know were in Lightroom. He's talking Lightroom Classic. I'd be interested in knowing. But again, just trying to blend this together. By the way, as I'm painting, I could actually change this to dissolve. Dissolve is going to give me that grainy look and might make it match like a little bit better. But again, I'm just trying to make this like nice and flowy, kind of all just like very, you know, scary and surreal. And you get the idea. Hurry, Paul, hurry. There's no time. Grab this skull. Look at the time, 8:46 or 7:46 Pacific time. I'm in Mountain Time here in Denver. Once we've done one, we should be able to drop in some others pretty quickly. There's that. That one's looking pretty good. Gradient map. This gradient map isn't going to look as good because it's mapping to that gold, and what I want is I want this to map to the white. And you think something's like a true white, hey, you know what? When in doubt, use the color picker. And there we are. Just wanted to steal that brown to make sure that fits in like so. Smart object, mask, B for brush. Get rid of that. Paint away, paint. Get it. And again, that's just another quick like example. Switch this back to normal. And we'll even take down the opacity a touch. There we go. Okay, so we have two skulls. We have this. You guys kind of understand the concept. I don't have enough time to make all of this. It's all about AI and machine learning and everything. We even want to take this idea and say, hey, you know, let's go back into MidJourney. So we got this, and we ended up with this idea that's, you know, pretty unique. I could spend all my time in here. I could do imagine butterfly made of skulls. So using this as a brainstorming tool in this case. So we'll try that. Butterfly made of skulls realistic. The next thing I'm going to do as well is like, maybe I could just do imagine sky full of butterflies. Realistic. Low light. And there's a number of prompts we could do in there. All right, so when in doubt, color pick it out. I like it. Cheers. Oh, dissolves Voodoo Val's favorite brush mode. Rick, I wish there was something in between dissolve and like the regular. I want a blurred dissolve. But look at this. Look at how awesome this is. Butterfly made of skulls. Come on now. Like, tell me that's not awesome. It's pretty darn cool. Sky full of butterflies. Like, look at that. Low light. I like this one here. I'll take this one. I want to upscale it and maybe do a different version of it. So I'll click right there and we'll see what happens. The low light. Missed that comment. Or can you use names with MidJourney? I don't know. I don't know. Where are we at with that? I think one thing you could do in MidJourney is I'll just jump over. You have these newbies category. This is also a good place to kind of just see what other people are creating. This is where I think I've seen actual people's names, I think is what you're asking. To see if people's names are in here. But this is what everybody is generating, just to give you an idea. A lonely man in exoplanet with billions of stars, the dark sky, ultra quality, ultra realistic. So yeah, there's a whole document on all these keywords and everything that you could use, but I'm kind of using this the same way I'd use Pinterest, is what I'm saying. All right, let's jump back really quick, see where we're at. There's our new one, 100%, it's done. Let's just throw that in there. Why not? As our background. This is where everything gets a little bit sticky because I don't know what photographer was used. I just don't know where this image came from. So that's my own insecurity about not using this. But again, is that a background in here? This butterfly, convert it to a smart object. And still use harmonization. Let's give it a whirl. It's like, hey, just make it match. Make it match with that new background right there. Should make it look much darker. Wait for it. I'm not crazy about it. It's okay. I would pick another way of doing this. I would use curves and then define those colors myself. So this did okay. I would click cancel. I would remap those colors a different way. Get there, Paul. Hurry. Hurry. There's no time. And I didn't need to hit auto. Go to find dark and light colors. Shadows. Boom. Midtones. Blue. Highlights. Can't really see the highlights, but let's go up here. There we go. I like this. Gives me a little bit more control. Auto color correction options. Mainly that mid-tone seems to work pretty well, but it blends pretty well. And we're using curves. Sure, let's change it. Done. How fast do you know whatever work you do in Photoshop? I'm not sure if I follow. How long does it take you to do a design? Is that kind of what you're asking? Which is a great question. It just depends. Weeks and weeks. Randomly working on multiple projects is usually how this all goes. There's our butterflies. Full control. And again, the key thing is to have that butterfly that has, all the cool, details of skulls and stuff. In fact, let's try this one more time. We'll jump in here. Yeah, we got that background. We saw that. Let's do bones and skulls on the wings. Don't forget to X, ba, sada, jaba, sound effects. Yeah, I mean, this is, I don't own this stuff. I don't know where it came from. Please tell me, MidJourney. Did you scrape a bunch of Getty images? I don't know if MidJourney is part of that or not, that whole lawsuit. But either way, I have confidence in knowing where my images come from. I'll work on this. It should be pretty easy. As I make one wing, I'll be able to flip it and and then change the colors and just like have fun. I think it's time for a new project though, since you mentioned that. Just kidding. Another thing I like to do with curves, we'll go into curves, clip it to that woman, turn off that background, and then start playing with the, really do like some high, some deep, you know, some hills and valleys. Like really get in there and like manipulate it. You'll get this fun like electric look. And then I'll come in and I'll either change the blend mode of this, right? So this alone is looking better. Like I like, it just gives it this like electric look, which is probably what I'll go for. So yes, Terry White is up next. I appreciate you guys just like hanging out with me on this fine Friday. Hopefully you appreciate this live stream. Stay tuned on the interwebs as I, you know, work on this some more and get it pushed out there. And hopefully you found this beneficial. So I just really appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. So we'll see you soon. Stick around for T. White. I'm going to be checking them out, creeping in the chat. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you.